What is up, Eastern Oregon? This is Dodzy, and this is your sports show for Thursday, October 28th, 2021. Man, love it. This is all brought to you by Northwest Furniture and Mattress, right here in LeGrand, on Elm, off Adams, big red rocking chair. You can't miss it. Go check out their showroom. It's beautiful. They got some stuff in stock now. Things are coming back in. Go, just trust me on it. They have the nicest furniture in town. Northwest Furniture and Mattress right here in LeGrand. Two guests today, so I'm just going to get right into it. But first, tomorrow, I have a special announcement in the morning. And I hope you guys tune in because it's going to be a really big announcement. It's going to be a really fun weekend. So tune in tomorrow morning. I'll probably make the announcement at about 10, 11 o'clock. I'll let you guys know. My guests today. I finally got some soccer on my show. My first guest, LeGrand High School girls soccer senior, Bethany Brock. Here it is. Bethany, how are you today?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. So let's talk about some soccer. I mean, we just had senior day, 2 days ago?
Yep.
The regular season's over. You guys went 10-2-1. Give me a little synopsis of the season.
Well, it's been a pretty good season. At the beginning, it was a little scary because last year we lost pretty much the whole team because they all graduated. So this year was a really young team, and it was like a little bit of a learning curve, but we've pulled it together and we've done really well this year.
When did you start playing soccer?
I started playing soccer in Pee-wees when I was 3 or 4-ish.
So you've been playing for a long time.
Yeah, about 12 years.
And in high school, you play all 4 years?
Mm-hmm. I've been in varsity or swing every year.
Since you were a freshman?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so you're a defender. You play in the middle on defense.
Yeah.
Explain that to the viewers a little bit.
Okay, so basically center D plays pretty much in the middle of the defense, and my job is to control the defense in the mid and make sure we're all working as a unit so then they can't make quick breakaways from us and stuff.
Okay. Have you ever played any other position, or have you always been a defender?
I've always been center D.
Yeah. You go ahead. No.
I've played center D. Occasionally I'll play outside D, and technically I'm better at that, but I'm one of our best center Ds, so that's what I play.
What's the difference between outside and center defense?
Especially in our the way we play at LHS, the outside defense runs all the way up the field and helps with the forward and attack, and the center D stays back and is just mainly a defender and doesn't participate in the attack very much.
So in terms of football sense, you're like the safety, basically. You're the last line of defense before the goalkeeper.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you stay back there and you make sure, because you don't want them to get a nice, pass and get past, if they get past those outside defenders, you're the last one that's going to be there to stop it.
Yeah.
So have you ever scored any goals?
Yeah, I've scored pretty much 1 goal a year-ish. When I'm playing outside D.
Yeah, well, I mean, it wouldn't be expected for defenders to score a lot of goals, right?
Yeah.
So how is a you can judge a forward or a midfielder based on, how many balls they win or goals. How's a defender judged?
I think center defenders or defenders in general are usually judged on their passing percentage or how many shots they stop or how many offensive plays they break down.
Okay. So you mean passing percentage through balls or just just regular passes?
How many passes you make successfully. So
okay.
My coach did it in one game where my passing percentage was 80 something, and that's really good for at least high school.
Do you have so for you personally, you said you run track as well. What sport do you like better?
Definitely soccer.
Really?
Yeah, track is more to get in shape for soccer, so I don't like running very much.
Well, if you don't like running, you do track and soccer, the two sports where you run the most.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, man. It like helps me get in shape, but it's no fun.
No, I hate running.
Yeah.
So I was a college athlete. I played baseball. I graduated from Grande, and the running has never been like. That's probably why I played soccer like up until 7th grade, I think, and then I was like, nah, I don't like running. Nah.
Yeah, running is too hard. Don't like it.
Yeah, but you play soccer.
Hmm. At least I'm not like a midfielder, so I don't have to run that much. But still, running is my least favorite part.
Absolutely. That's probably why you like playing center defender.
Yeah, if I'm running, then it's like very important that I get back there.
So, what's your plans? Like what are you gonna do when you're done with school here?
I'm gonna try to go to EOU and get my bachelor's in biochem or something like that, and then I want to go to medical school to become a psychiatrist.
Oh, you want to be a psychiatrist? Interesting. It's a tough. You got to have big shoulders to be a psychiatrist.
Yeah, lots of school too.
What's the drive behind that? What influenced you to want to be a psychiatrist?
I've always found like psychology and like the human mind really interesting, and I've done a lot of research like in my own time, and that would be like really cool to make that my full-time job and to be able to like help people and stuff.
Yeah, the human mind is really crazy.
It is insane.
It's real. Yeah, there's a lot of different factors and a lot of weird things that tie into it.
Yeah.
So do you like pineapple on pizza?
Not really. I'm more of just a plain cheese pizza kind of person.
I have a daughter like that. She don't want any toppings on the pizza. It's like, dude, you're missing out on so much.
No, I gotta keep it simple, so I can enjoy it.
What's your favorite food?
My favorite food? It depends. Right now, we've been having a lot of Mexican food, so that's been really good.
It's my favorite.
Yeah.
By far. So for this year, you guys are getting ready for the playoffs. What's your guys' goals, team goals?
I think just to like try to make it as far as possible and play the best we can, because like I said, this is a young team and we have like really built each other up this year, and so it would be exciting to see how far we make it.
Well, you guys had a pretty good season.
Yeah, it was really nice.
And last year, how far did you guys go last year?
Last
Do you
year,
remember?
I think we made it 2 games in or something like that. I don't know.
And so with the playoffs, you guys have a home game on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking up here. They don't have a time for it yet. Have you heard anything?
No, I don't think anything's set up yet because the play-in games are Saturday, and since we're highly ranked, we don't have to do those, so we're waiting for those to happen.
And then it'll be determined based on who wins the play-in game and how far they have to travel and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So with your continuing education, are you going to try to play soccer at the next level?
Yeah, I want to try, but like talking to coaches has been stressful and stuff. So
it's always stressful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's part of it is just the finding the right niche. Would you be willing, like, if a coach outside of EOU said we want you to come play soccer here, would you be willing to do it?
Yeah, definitely. I've been talking to some coaches outside of EOU, mainly like community colleges and stuff, because I don't
BMCC?
Yes.
I knew already. I mean, that's like a feeder program for EOU too, and we have a girl playing there from Grande right now.
Yeah.
Right.
See. Yeah.
Yeah, an ex-teammate of yours, Cece. So do you have your phone on you?
Oh yeah, I do.
Pull it out.
Okay.
You tell me when you have it opened up.
I have it open.
Okay, what's the last song you listened to?
Let me open my Spotify real quick.
Yeah.
I think it was Coffee Stained Smile by Delaney Bailey.
Coffee Stained Smile by Delaney Bailey.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So at the high school there, Who's your role model? Like who do you look up to? Like who do you go to when you need to?
I think definitely my coach Sam. I look up to him a lot, and he's like helped me a lot in soccer, and he's very passionate. So he's like helped me be passionate in what I want to do and stuff, and that's been really helpful.
Does he teach there too?
No, he's just the coach. But
Yeah, that's what I thought. So, but what about teacher wise? Like, who's your mentor there?
My favorite teacher is Balza. She's my English teacher.
Huh? I don't think I've ever met her. And so English. You like English? Obviously, you must like English if she's your favorite teacher. So, is that like would you minor in that maybe or?
I don't really know what I'm gonna minor in, but I could minor in a lot of stuff because I'm like English. I'm good at English, but I'm also good at like art and math and stuff. So whatever I decide.
Huh. Would you rather live the rest of your life without the internet or without air conditioning and heat?
Probably without the internet because I would die without heat. I'm so cold.
You're a cold person. My oldest daughter's like that. She's cold all the time.
I'm literally wearing a blanket right now.
Wow. I haven't even turned the heat on in my house yet this year.
It's insane.
So LHS soccer, we're going to the state tournament. So this home game is an actual state playoff game, right? Like we don't have to play the play-in games.
Yeah.
Okay, so then that's on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
And then if we win, then would we get another home game or would we have to go on the road after that?
It depends on who we play. Probably since we're like ranked 5th, we'd probably have to go somewhere else.
5th ranked team in the state.
Yeah.
And then, so let's talk about track real fast before I get you out of here. What events do you run in track again?
I run the 800 and the 400.
So like the intermediate distances.
Yeah, I'm more of a middle distance runner because the 15 is too many laps to count.
It's a mile. That's 4 laps.
Yeah.
And what got you into that? Like that specific, 400, 800?
I did a lot of long distance in middle school, but I didn't really train much for long distance, so I did a lot of 15s and stuff, and that was terrible. So I went to high school and was like, oh, there's an option to run shorter distances, and I'm pretty decent at them, so why don't I just go run the 800?
And in track, Alma's your coach?
No, my coach was Wade Wright.
Wade Wright. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And doesn't Alma? She coaches cross country.
Yeah, she's a cross country coach.
Do you do anything in the winter?
No, not a winter sport person.
You just take the winter off.
Yeah, focus on school and stuff.
Do you get good grades?
Yeah.
I can tell just by talking to you.
Thanks.
So let's pretend for a second, and then this is the last question, and then I'll get you out of here. Pretend that Grande High School, soccer was a college team, and you were trying to recruit me to come play for that team.
Okay.
Recruit me to that team.
Okay, I guess Grande is like a really supportive, fun environment, and even when in practice, when we're working super hard and we're like aiming for the state playoffs, we're still building each other up and having fun while we're like pushing ourselves to be our best.
Nice. Eastern Oregon. She's LHS senior soccer player Bethany Brock. I'm Dodsey. Bethany, I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me on.
Thank you, Bethany. I wish you the best of luck in all your endeavors moving forward, and let's go. Let's get a state championship with this team. I mean, only 2 seniors. Let's go. It's a great day to be a fighting Tiger. My next guest, I'm just going to go right into it. Her coach, LHS girls soccer head coach, Sam Brown. Here it is. Sam, what's up?
Not much. Good to be here. Good to be with you.
Yeah, finally. We've been talking about doing this for a while, man, and we find that we're making it happen. Probably on your lunch break or something. It's like noon right now.
It is.
All right. So how'd you end up in LeGrand? Let's talk about that first. Let's talk about Sam Brown first. How'd you end up in LeGrand?
Let's see. I grew up in Cove. I went to high school in Cove, and so I'm from the area. My parents live out there still, and so I grew up in the area, and about 11 years ago, I had been pastoring a church in Helena, Montana, and really felt like God was pulling us back to this area. And through a series of seeking God and working through other entities, church entities, Southern Baptist Convention in particular, they were willing to set us up as a church plant here in new church start here in Grande back in 2010. And we started meeting in our house, and so here we are today. And I continue to be pastor of the Way Church, and yeah, it's been good. It's been good. But the reason, my motivation for being here is first and foremost Jesus, and serve Him, serve the kingdom of God, and soccer's down the list of priorities. But I love being a soccer coach in the community, and I love serving the community in that way. So yeah, that's what brought us here was the church service to the Lord. So yeah.
Nice. When you went to Cove, did you play sports?
I grew up in Phoenix. Okay, so before Cove was Phoenix, Arizona. I grew up playing soccer as a young boy from the age of 7, and moved to Cove, and no high school soccer team in Cove. So
Right.
I still played rec soccer for Union County Youth Soccer. I remember doing that, but had a little group of guys in Cove that I played with, but I played basketball and ran track, and yeah, so those are my two things in high school. Yeah.
I'm going to date you right now. Who was the basketball coach at Cove when you were there?
Back in the day,
Yeah.
back in the 90s, early 90s, Skip Pereira.
Oh, Skip.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that guy. I love yeah. So I know his kids. Yeah, Skip was a good dude, man. I forgot he even coached out there. There's been a lot of local kind of legends that have coached at Cove.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Johnny Ballgame, my old co-host, the show that I used to do, he coached at Cove.
It's funny.
Right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That was before my time.
Well, before you came back, but it was way after you played there.
Right.
So soccer wise, how'd you get back in? How'd you get into coaching soccer?
I've been coaching my own kids since they were 4 years old. So since they could walk, I've been playing soccer the whole time. I didn't get to play high school ball. I didn't get to play college ball, but I enlisted in the Air Force right out of high school, and I always had a group of guys that I was kicking around with. And we'd go to tournaments and stuff. It was a lot of fun. But,
nice.
And then when I had kids, and even before that, before I was married, I had the opportunity to coach a U15 team in Great Falls, Montana. So that was my first experience as coach. Was 20 years old, coaching a bunch of 14-year-old boys. So yeah,
14-year-old boys are tough, dude.
Well, the funny thing was, I remember coaching them and thinking, "Oh man, I'm going to be able to do things that they can't do," and then they'd make me look silly, and I was like, "Ooh."
I coached middle school football for a number of years, and which is that age. And man, them kids stink, and they're just.
Oh yeah.
It's like that transition. Now, the best part about that age group is they're right at that age where they're going to decide if they're going to keep doing it or not, and that's what I loved about coaching that age group. You get to experience that with them, like in football, which I can't. It relates to soccer. In the sense that it's similar when it comes to the deciding if you're going to continue to play.
Sure.
As soon as that kid gets the snot knocked out of him one time, that's when they decide if they're really going to play football or not, and that happens in middle school. It really does. For and sure. It's just a great part of the process. So for the LHS soccer, how long have you been the head coach?
Oh man, when we moved here, like I said, we moved here in 2010, and my daughter at that time was a freshman, was going freshman in high school, and she's now an assistant coach for me. But she was getting ready to go in, and got her signed up for the high school team. And a couple practices in, I asked the coach, would you mind if I helped out? And she said, no, not at all. Allowed me to help out. I became a volunteer coach in that fall 2010 season. And the season after that, they offered me a position as a JV boys coach. And then the season after that, when Alora was a junior, in that junior class, the coach resigned, and I applied. I was like, this team at that time, I could see. I was like, this team is a championship team, and they just need a system. They need to be united around the system. And I came in their junior year with it's a very Barcelona-esque, Spanish-inspired system as far as soccer-wise, and that's when back in 2012, that was the first season, and did really well that season, and made it to the quarterfinal, if I remember right. Lost in the quarters against Philomath. What's that?
Oh, you lost in the quarters against Philomath?
Yeah.
So this is what, season 9 then?
So let's see, 2012. Yeah, it's a long story. I mean, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, I resigned, took a year off. It was just getting to be too much. And then 2017 and 2018, Tiger was the coach. Tiger was coaching. She was the head coach. She was my assistant before that. She took the team on. And a couple years after I left, she was in need of a JV coach. And I just said, what do you think? Would you be interested in having me back on? And she said, yeah. So I was the JV coach for a couple seasons. And 2019, she was tired. She was tired. She was ready to give it up. And she said, would you be willing to do it? I said, yeah. So
you've gone full circle twice.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, I really, the girls asked me, well, why do you coach the girls team? I'm just, that's what I know. I enjoy coaching you guys. I mean, there are lots of other opportunities I guess I could have, but just the way they respond to the system and to the mindset, it's just been super cool. So,
I hate that society puts a weird stigma around that. I really do. It doesn't matter if you're a dude or if you're a chick. If you're a good coach for girls, you're a good coach for girls. If you're a good coach for boys, you're a good coach for boys. It's that simple.
I imagine. I think I've been in settings where I've worked with women, and I've been like in the Air Force. I worked in the GYN clinic as a medic. Like, okay, so I'm comfortable in that position. I'm not, I don't get embarrassed easy. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And they're funny. They're just
for girls. For me, I coached girls 1 year, and I just I can't deal with the emotions very well. So I just kind of stayed coaching boys, man.
Right.
It was one of those, and you got to find your niche, and your niche is coaching girls. Your niche is coaching girls. It's that simple. So let's talk a little bit about this season.
Okay.
Only got 2 seniors on the team, which Bethany I'll have on later on in the show, and then a foreign exchange student, right?
Yes, Susanna Dervik.
Where's she come from?
Sweden.
She's Swedish. Soccer's pretty big in Sweden.
Gothenburg, Sweden. She is
Gothenburg, Sweden.
She's a club soccer player from Sweden. She's very good.
So we went 10-2-1. The last game was a couple days ago, senior night. We beat Ontario, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now we play Tuesday. It's not a play-in game; it's an actual state tournament.
Yeah, we're
game.
through to the first round of the playoffs.
And so, when will we know when that game is?
Well, we already know when the game is. The game's next Tuesday.
No, what time?
Oh, as soon as we figure out, it really depends on who we're playing against. If it's somebody that's far reaches of the state, it will probably be an earlier game just for their sake. But if they're a little closer, I'd prefer later in the evening game so that more fans can be there to enjoy the match.
Yeah, after work, right?
Yeah.
Like when people can actually get there and support the team.
So-
Do you guys play most of your games at EOU?
Yes, when the field's available, yes.
And then the other games are at the middle school.
Right.
But so do we know if there's a conflict at EOU, or is this game going to be played at EOU for sure?
This game should be at EOU.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, that's where it needs to be.
It's scheduled to be at EOU.
Good. So let's talk about your team, like chemistry-wise. What's the chemistry like with these girls?
Just funny. It's just fun.
Are they?
They are a fun group. Yes, they make me laugh. They're when they're relaxed. When they relax, they play super well. It's an enjoyable group of girls to be an enjoyable team to be a part of, and not just the players, but the staff. April Brock, Beto Villagomez, Alora, former goalkeeper Brenna Strand. Her sister is a freshman this year, and Brenna came back to work with our goalkeepers, and so yeah, it's been a lot of fun. A lot of fun to have. It's just been a fun group of girls, good, fun chemistry, fun group of people to be around.
Nice. Have they exceeded your expectations?
Oh, I think they've exceeded their own. They were
awesome.
Not super confident right in the beginning. They were, to be honest, there was a lot of, I think, internal doubt that they carried into this season. It took losing to Pendleton 6-0 to kind of put me in a position to say, okay, let's think about some things. Let's think about this, because we had beaten Umatilla 7-0, and that was kind of okay. But we came out against Pendleton unprepared for them. And, in that first game against Pendleton, we were missing at least 2 starters that game. 3 starters. So, yeah, maybe it's just 2. It was 2. Anyway, doesn't matter. But it was our starting goalkeeper. It was our start. We were missing one of our starting forwards, and so it was really kind of the goalkeeper we had in there. She's growing a lot. She's going to be good. She's going to be a good field player too. But she was inexperienced, and they took advantage of that inexperience, and that's what we've had all season. I mean, we have three goalkeepers this season that had not played goalkeeper coming up to this, or had not. So that's a testament to the coaches that are with me, who, between April and Beto, to be able to get them to the place they are today. And right now, having, Lindy Isaacson in the goal as a freshman and doing as well as she's done.
Do you have a freshman goalkeeper?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she's actually kept us in some games. Some of the saves she's made have been as good as goals.
I mean, you guys have only given up 15 goals all year.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's a freshman in the goal.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that goes to that whole back line. I mean, it's pretty experienced back line, even for as young as they are. They've got Bethany Brock in the middle, Caitlin Brock, her sister, Susanna Dervick she's an excellent defender, and Nora Cruz. Those 4, and then you add Haley McCall into that mix, and even drop back Carly Strand. It's been a really strong defensive back 4, back 5. Add Lindy to that mix. It's been really, we've been able to keep people out of the goal when we weren't giving away goals. I mean, that was part of the struggle at the beginning, was our inexperience in the defense or in the goalkeeping area led to cheap goals. That game against Baker was 3-2, and I was like, yeah, there shouldn't be goals, but there they are.
Yeah.
But that was a learning opportunity too, and I think a moment where actually Lindy herself came out of that much stronger, and I was able to say, "You're not done. We're not done with you. You're going to get back in there, but you got to understand there are certain things that can't happen." And so she's been super teachable, super coachable, and able to adjust, and has been real consistent.
That's so awesome, man. I love to hear stories like that. Like, especially like younger, like underclassmen, like that have stepped up and figured out a way to mature. Not only, I mean, it's not only just a physical maturation, it's up here too. Like, it really is, especially a position like goalkeeper. Like, gosh, man, like when I think about being a goalkeeper, like, dude, hey, so I like to call the goalkeeper the quarterback or the shortstop.
Mm-hmm.
I like to refer to Max Rose a lot. I love that kid.
Max, yeah.
And he's barking out, formations and places for people to move, and that's a lot of pressure for a freshman, man.
Oh yeah. Yep. And
so
go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, you go. I got.
Yeah, she's starting to embrace that pressure and be able to manage it. There's still moments where you're like, yep, she's a freshman, but they're fewer and further between. And as she grows in understanding of the position and the understanding of the system, to think forward, to think future, you're like, wow, she along with those others that are backing her up. I mean, that are in there as well. I mean, one of the struggles I had coming into this season was going, who's going to be in the goal? It is not an easy position to fill, and there was no obvious choice. So we were, honestly, I was praying. I was like, Lord, I know it's not a big deal in the big scheme of eternity.
Right. But help me out, bro.
I could use, we could use a goalkeeper.
Send me a sign.
And he's like, so now we have 3, and I'm like, yeah, we could use I need a goalkeeper coach. I've now got 3 goalkeeper coaches. So I'm going, there you go. Thank you, Lord.
Let's get one more question in, and then I'll get you out of here. What's your goal? What's the goal? What's the team's goal for the rest of this year? What do we want out of it?
At the end of the day, my goal for them, and I believe the goal that I want to instill in them is not one that says state championship. It says, did you play to win for real? Period. Did you play to win for real as one? That's the philosophy I coach by. Did we unite? Did we give ourselves the best? Did we train in a way that gave us the best opportunity to win? We don't play to lose, but we understand that there are other good teams out there, and soccer's that game. I mean, the last game, if the last game showed us anything, it doesn't matter that you beat that team 4-0 last time. I mean, if you don't score, and soccer's like that, there are days when the ball just doesn't want to go in the goal, or you can't force it to go in the goal, and it goes off the crossbar, right? It just whatever. You might have lots of opportunities, but if you don't get in the goal, if they come out like Ontario, I love the coaching staff over there I know they were jacked. They were excited to be 0-0 at halftime against us.
Yeah, which is crazy.
That was like, yeah, and for me, I'm going, yeah, 0-0 is not good, ladies. No. Do not give them hope, and that's what happened, and it ultimately turned into a kind of an off goal, which happens. You're like, that happens too. You get that corner kick, you give them a set piece, they get it in the goal. You're like, totally against the run of play, totally against the totally against everything that has been happening, but it really doesn't matter. And so it really allowed us to be able to say, hey, all right, you got 12 minutes. Can you get it done? They came back and scored 2 goals in 12 minutes. I was like, okay.
Which probably good. I mean,
yeah, I think from a preparation standpoint, you just never let up. You never quit. And so I think, to answer your question, my goal is for us to play hard, to play smart, to play right, to play with all our heart, to never quit. And at the end of the day, if we come out ahead on the scoreboard, praise God. If we don't, then oh well. You know, it's soccer. But if you can walk away from a defeat, still going, we gave it our best. We trained our hardest, and that was the outcome. Or and at the same time, if you go and win, but if you did it wrong, it's really not of any benefit to you.
Right.
So,
absolutely.
That's where I'm at.
Gotcha. East Oregon. He's LHS head girls soccer coach Sam Brown. I'm Dodzy. We're out. I appreciate you, Sam. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sam, man. I appreciate you guys for coming on and talking about the season. And I love giving you guys a little bit of love. I mean, I love all sports at LHS. And anytime that I can get some other sports in here like soccer or volleyball or any of that kind of stuff, it makes me really happy. None of this is possible without Northwest Furniture and Mattress. Boom. Right here in LeGrande. Go see the Daggett family. They're a huge part of this community. They're very active in helping and fundraising and coaching and just they're and it's that circle. It's that circle, you know. They help me out by funding my show. You guys watch my show and then you go and buy stuff from them. That's kind of how it works. Eastern Oregon. That's all I got for you on a Thursday. I'm not going to talk too much. I appreciate you. I'm Dodzy, and I'm out.